Namaskar students. So in my previous lecture we have learned how to calculate the magnetic dipole moment of a current carrying circular loop, and there we have determined that the magnetic dipole moment of a current carrying circular loop is pi I into r square, where r is the radius of the circular loop and I is the current which is flowing in the wire of circular wire. And since magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity, so obviously if the circular loop is placed in a xy plane, so area vector will be along the z direction. So we know that magnetic dipole moment is basically m vector is I into m area vector. So obviously this means magnetic dipole moment will align into the direction of area vector. So obviously the dipole moment will be along the z direction. And we have learned that magnetic means circular loop. If a circular loop is carrying a current, then this circular loop behave like a magnetic dipole, and therefore we can find out the magnetic field. If magnetic dipole is there, we can find out the magnetic field. So in previous lecture we have learned this, and we have calculated the magnetic vector potential due to dipole, and then magnetic field due to a dipole means the magnetic field due to a current carrying circular loop. So in today's lecture we will try to learn magnetic dipole moment of a spinning spherical cell. If you recall my all lectures, so we have learned that means I have solved several problems based on the rotating spherical cell or rotating sphere. First problem I have given means I have solved that find out the magnetic that current density, volume current density due to a rotating uniformly charged sphere, and then we have determined the magnetic field due to a rotating spherical cell. Then we have determined the magnetic vector potential due to a rotating spherical cell, and in this lecture we will determine the magnetic dipole moment due to a rotating spherical cell. So as we know that if spherical cell is distributed with a surface charge, when it is spinning, when it is rotating with some angular velocity, obviously this surface charge will also move. So if surface charge will move, so it will give a current. And we have learned in magnetostatic, whenever there is a steady current, so steady current always produce a magnetic field. Obviously it means there will be a magnetic field due to a rotating spherical cell. If there is magnetic field, it means there should be some magnetic dipole moments also exist in the spherical cell. So in today's lecture we will try to learn how one can determine the magnetic dipole moments of a rotating spherical cell. Okay. So in order to solve such problems, we know that let us assume that we have a spherical cell of radius capital R, and it is uniformly distributed with a surface charge density sigma. Okay. This is x axis and this is y axis and this is z axis. Let us assume that spherical cell is rotating its own axis along the z direction with the angular velocity omega. As I said earlier, that if it is rotating with the angular velocity omega, so this surface charge will also move along with the spherical cell. If surface charge will move, obviously this will associate, this will give a current on the surface of the spherical cell. If there will be current, obviously there will be magnetic field, and obviously there will be magnetic dipole moment. We know that magnetic dipole moment M is I into A. If there is current, it means there is a magnetic dipole moment. Okay. as we have learned earlier also, that in order to solve such kind of problems, what we have to do, we can assume, we can draw a small circular ring on the surface of the spherical shell, and then if we are able to find out the magnetic dipole moment due to a small circular ring, and if we integrate for a whole spherical shell, then we can find out the magnetic dipole moment due to a spinning spherical shell. In order to do that, let us assume that we consider a small some point on the spherical surface of the spherical shell. Obviously this will be the r distance, and this is making an angle with the z axis, that is theta, and there is a, let us assume that there is an infinitesimal displacement, that is d theta. So obviously this will give the thickness, that is r d theta. Okay, so and if this is r d theta, then we can draw a small circular ring of r d theta thickness. Okay, and this will be the center of the circular ring, and this is the center of a spherical shell. So if, let us assume that this distance from the center of the circular ring to the center of spherical shell, that is r vector, and this distance, that is from center of the circular ring to the circumference of the ring, that is r prime vector. So we can find, because this is capital R, okay, this distance is capital R and this is theta, so we can determine the value of r vector and we can determine the value of r prime. Okay, obviously this is 90 degree, so this is perpendicular, so this will be the, this is theta, so this will be capital R sin theta, so that means r prime is capital R sin theta, and this will be the r cos, capital R cos theta, so this is r, so small r is equal to capital R cos theta. So this r prime is basically giving the radius of the circular ring. Okay, so what is the concept or idea is here, if we are able to find out the magnetic dipole moment due to this circular ring, then we can find out the magnetic dipole moment due to the whole spinning shell. Okay, so to do that, we have to find out the current associated with the circular ring of thickness r d theta of radius r sin theta and the area of the circular ring. Okay, so we know that the surface charge which is distributed on the uniformly distributed on the spherical shell, then we can determine how much charge is enclosed by this ring, circular ring. Okay, if this is known, then we can find out the current, how much current is enclosed by this circular ring, and then if current is known and we can find out the area of the circular ring, then we multiply this, that will give the magnetic dipole moment of the circular ring. Okay, so that what I am going to do now. So let us try to find out the total charge on the spherical shaded ring, that is the circular ring of thickness r d theta. So we know that total charge is equal to surface charge density multiplied by the surface area. Okay, so here this is circular ring, so surface charge density will be uniform, so that means sigma will be the surface charge density on the ring also, that is sigma into the surface area of the circular ring of thickness r d theta. So that will give the obviously 2 that is circumference, that is 2 pi r prime, so that is the circumference of the circular ring into thickness, that is r d theta, so that is 2 pi r prime into r d theta, so that is the total surface area of the circular ring. Okay, so this is giving dq, so where r prime is capital R sin theta, so sigma will be equal to so dq will be equal to sigma into 2 pi capital R sin theta r d theta, so this will give the dq is equal to 2 pi sigma r square sin theta d theta. So if this charge, total charge on the circular ring is known, then we can find out the current which is enclosed in the ring, on the ring. So this will be equal to dq upon dt, where t is the time. but time is not known, but the angular velocity of the spherical shell is known, so that can be written as dq upon, therefore it can be written as dq upon 2 pi omega. Okay, so we can find out the current on the circular ring, so that is 2 pi sigma capital r square sin theta d theta upon 2 pi into omega. So 2 pi will be considered out, so this will give sigma omega r square sin theta d theta. Okay, if this is known to magnetic dipole moment, one can find out. So what will be the magnetic dipole moment? Let us say that is the magnetic dipole moment due to circular ring of thickness r d theta, that is dm vector. So dm vector will be along the obviously area vector, so that is I into dA vector, where dA is the area of the circular ring, so I is the current. So current, that is sigma omega r square sin theta d theta into area of the circular ring, that is pi r prime square. Obviously this circular ring what we have drawn, that is on the xy plane, so this will be the area vector along the z direction, so that is why I have written that is z unit vector, where this r prime is equal to r sin theta. So if we do that, so dm is equal to sigma omega r square capital R square sin theta d theta into pi capital R square sin square theta into z unit vector. So this will give the dm. So dm will be equal to, that is magnetic dipole moment, pi capital R to power 4 sigma omega sin cube theta d theta z unit vector. So this is the magnetic dipole moment due to a circular ring which we have drawn on the spherical shell, and the thickness of the circular ring is r d theta and the radius of the circular ring is capital R sin theta. Therefore we can find out the total magnetic dipole moment due to a rotating spherical shell. So if we find out this value, so what we have to do means total magnetic dipole moment, that is obviously it will be equal to integral dm, and if you substitute, if you see, that is the dm is only, derivative is only theta, and theta we know that theta runs from 0 to pi, so this means limit will be 0 to pi, and substituting the value of dm, that is pi capital R to power 4 sigma omega sin cube theta d theta into z unit vector. That means magnetic dipole moment of a rotating spherical shell will be along the z unit vector. Okay, so this magnetic dipole moment m vector will be equal to, so this pi capital R to power 4 sigma omega, that is constant, I have taken outside, and then integral 0 to pi sin cube theta d theta into z unit vector. Okay, so we know from standard integral the value of this integral, that is 4 by 3. If we substitute, so we can find out the total magnetic dipole moment, that is 4 pi upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4 z unit vector. So this is the magnetic dipole moment of a spherical shell. Obviously this is pointing along the z unit vector, along the z axis, and magnitude obviously that is 4 pi upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4. Now if this spherical shell is behaving like a magnetic dipole moment, then we can find out the magnetic vector potential due to this spherical shell. And magnetic vector potential due to rotating spherical shell, I have given a separate lecture how to determine magnetic vector potential due to a rotating spherical shell. So let us assume that the point of observation of the vector potential, that is r, is outside of the spherical shell. So r is greater than the r. Then we know that magnetic vector potential due to a dipole, in last lecture I have given, means in multipole expansion I have explained what is the value of vector potential due to a dipole term. So that is mu 0 upon pi 4 pi, where m is the magnetic dipole moment sin theta upon r square, small r square into phi unit vector for r is greater than capital R, where r is the point of observation. Okay, so now we know this magnetic dipole moment. If we substitute the value of magnetic dipole moment due to a spherical shell, so this will give the mu 0 upon 4 pi upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4 sin obviously this sine theta and small r square phi unit vector. Okay, so this 4 pi will be cancelled out, and if you see the direction of the vector potential here, that is phi unit vector. Why it is? Because spherical shell is rotating. If spherical shell is rotating, if you go back, if you see, if spherical shell is rotating like this, okay, so that means charge density will rotate, will move. If charge density will move, so this will give a current. It means current, whatever current will be associated with the due to the motion of spinning of the spherical shell, that will be also circulating. That means that will be in the azimuthal direction, that will into the phi direction. And we know that the magnetic vector potential will be in the direction of current. Means मैग्नेटिक वेक्टर पोटेंशियल का डायरेक्शन और करंट का डायरेक्शन हमेशा सेम होगा. इफ करंट अगर एजुमुथल है, मीन्स करंट जो है फाई यूनिट वेक्टर में है, तो मैग्नेटिक वेक्टर पोटेंशियल भी फाई यूनिट वेक्टर में होगा. I hope you understood what I wanted to explain. So this will give the dipole vector potential due to a dipole, that is mu 0 upon 3 sigma omega capital R to power 4 sin theta upon small r square phi unit vector. So this is when the point of observation is larger than the radius of the spherical shell. If you see this value, so this value is exactly similar with the value what we have obtained by other methods. Okay, so this is the vector potential due to a dipole. Now if you want to cross check whether this whatever this magnetic dipole moment we have calculated, that is correct or wrong, and this dipole moment is correct or wrong, this vector potential due to dipole is correct or not correct, we can find out the magnetic field due to a dipole. So we know that B is equal to del cross A. And again, during the multipole expansion, in my multipole expansion lecture, I will explain what will be the value of magnetic field due to a dipole. So that will be del cross A. If you take the curl of this quantity, so that will give the mu 0 upon m, that is small m, okay, upon 4 pi, where m is the magnetic dipole moment. So I am writing the direct formula. I am not doing I am not taking the curl of this quantity. Okay, so this will be mu 0 into small m upon 4 pi small r cube 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta theta unit vector. So this is the formula, where this small m is the magnetic dipole moment, and we know that magnetic dipole moment due to a spherical shell, that is 4 pi upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4. If you substitute, then that will give the magnetic field due to a dipole. So that is mu 0 upon 4 pi r cube 4 pi upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4 into 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta theta unit vector. So this will be cancelled out. So we will get magnetic field due to dipole, that is mu 0 upon 3 sigma omega r to power 4 r cube, and that is 2 cos theta r unit vector plus sin theta theta unit vector. So this is the magnetic field due to a rotating spherical shell in terms of spherical polar coordinate. Obviously this result is exactly similar with the result what we have obtained by other methods. So this is the magnetic field due to a rotating spherical shell. So in this lecture, if we summarize, so what we have determined, we have tried to find out the magnetic dipole moment due to a rotating spherical shell. So in order to find out the magnetic dipole moment due to a spherical shell, we have drawn a small ring on the spherical shell of thickness r d theta and radius r sin theta, and then we have determined the magnetic dipole moment due to ring, and then we have integrated for whole spherical shell, and then we have find out the magnetic dipole moment due to the spherical shell, rotating spherical shell, and by using this magnetic dipole moment value, we have calculated the vector potential due to a spherical shell and then magnetic field due to a spherical shell, and these results are consistent with the value which we have obtained by other methods. So thanking you very much for listening this lecture. Okay, so keep doing hard work and keep following the lectures. Thanking you very much for your kind attention for listening the lectures. Thanking you. Thanks a lot.